Oh my god, I'm being baited by YouTube chat. I'm being baited. 2 people have said patch out. The patch notes are real. I'm being baited. I'm gonna check Street Fighter. I'm being so baited. YouTube chat, I'm gonna delete my YouTube stream forever if this isn't real. It's 5/28/2026. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, I take it back. YouTube, you guys are great. You guys are the best. You've redeemed yourself, YouTube chatters. Okay, Ingrid patch notes have officially come out on the Buckler website. 5/28/2026 update. I don't know what these are going to be about. Let's go ahead and get on into it. Overall concept. This update focuses primarily on adjusting throw interactions and bug fixes. Don't tell me, is this the one? With this update, we've limited the amount of drive gauge gained from a successful throw escape. Oh, okay. They just reverted their giving meter for teching a throw, which was the worst change they added to the game. In previous updates, we made adjustments so that both drive and super art gauge gain was increased when successfully escaping a throw. Due to the amount of drive gauge gain on a throw escape, the amount of situations where the upside of going for normal throw was becoming too small. There is no situation in the world of Street Fighter 6 where the upside of going for a normal throw is too small. That does not exist in this game. Normal throw is the greatest fucking option in this game, period. The amount of drive gained from escaping a throw in the situations could help completely turn around the situation, giving the attacker less reason to attempt a normal throw when they should be at an advantage. While we did expect some shift in the nature of the mind games, we felt that the frequency of momentum shifts was more than expected, so we've increased the amount of gauge gained on a successful throw escape, along with adjustments to the recovery drive reversal explained below. Why? Okay, the drive gauge regen is bad. The worst part was the super meter. Everyone's getting level 2s and level 3s all over the place. Why would they increase this? This is fucking bad. This is not good. This doesn't make sense. To be clear, okay, so I'm going to show off what happens when you take a throw in this game. If I land a throw, here's the situation, okay? Both of us gain a little bit of bar. That's it. Now, on the throw loop, I have to drive bridge with Alex for the throw loop. In this situation, Luke is teching the throw, okay? I'm doing the throw first. Luke is teching the throw. He recovers a decent amount of drive gauge. What is it, like a bar and a half or like a full bar? Like a full bar, and his super meter goes up as well. He gets a little chunk of super meter. Here's the problem with this. In a lot of situations, people do things like delay tech. On offense, I might do something like delay tech. Because if I approach on this Oki and I delay tech, I can OS block potentially a reversal. I input it throw there, but because I did a really late throw on offense, I baited the reversal. So it's not unheard of for you to approach on a knockdown, wait, delay, and then throw tech. And now I'm the one doing the throw second, but I instead, as the one on offense, end up getting the super meter rebuild and the drive gauge. So what I'm getting at is this idea of one person defending the throw tech versus the other, it's not that obvious. It's not that obvious. So I don't like this idea at all of rewarding someone being on offense or defense for throw teching because it doesn't make that much sense. They nerf the super gauge to 0. Okay, that's great. But they buffed the drive gauge. The adjustments we made primarily addressed a situation where the defender was low drive or as a burnout. The amount of drive gained from escaping a throw in these situations could completely turn around the situation, giving the attacker less reason to attempt a normal throw when they should be at an advantage. While we did expect some shifts in the nature of the mind games, we felt the frequency of the momentum shifts was more than expected, right? So you should get rid of the meter entirely. So we've increased the amount of gauge gained on a successful throw escape, along with adjustments to the recovery drive reversal explained below. Apparently, you guys are saying this is a mistranslation. I'll keep going. With recovery drive reversal, avoiding a throw during its invincibility will now grant 10,000 to the drive gauge. Avoiding a throw. So if you drive reversal a throw, you get meter back? Huh. You get 1 bar back for successful drive reversal on a throw attempt. Yeah, okay. I kind of like that, but they could just make it safe. I don't know. I don't know why they want it to be punishable, but that's interesting. That's a buff to defense. But it's a buff to defense while still incentivizing more offense because drive gauge equals offense. On the defending side, the timing for recovery drive reversal differs from throw escapes, and the situation when you can use them are also different. along with requiring resources. We decided to increase the return on this technique when you make a good read and successfully avoid an opponent's throw. Okay. Dawson players rejoicing at that one. Along with this, we've changed the amount of super art gain for the opponent on a punish counter normal throw so that it matches the gain from a normal hit. The player who lands the throw will still gain twice the amount of super art gauge as before, giving you a big reward for correctly reading defensive options like drive parry when the opponent tries to counterattack. In addition to these situations, you can use normal throws where the opponent is left open after missing a big attack, letting you limit their super art gauge gain and dealing good damage at the same time. Expect that this will be a solid option for closing out a round. So they're not going to gain super meter if you throw for a punish. So you can prevent them from building super. Okay? Because if I throw you right here, you build super. And if I go for a combo, you're building super. So they're saying if you're burnt out, or like you're holding parry, I throw you, or land a punish counter throw, and you go into burnout, and you start it with 0 super meter, that'll prevent you from building bar. Normally, right now, you're building like a quarter of a bar, almost. So that would allow you to bait parry, punish counter throw. They don't gain super art gauge and get a guaranteed stun more easily. That's what that sounds like. Let's see the notes here. Recovery, drive, reversal. If you escape a throw during the invincibility period that occurs before an attack startup, your drive gauge will increase by 10,000. So successful drive reversal versus throw, you get a bar drive gauge back. Spend 2, get 1 back. Interesting. Normal throws. Updated opponent's super art gauge increase when a normal throw lands as a punish counter to match the increase on normal hits. A normal hit, attacker gains 2,000, opponent 1,400. On punish counter, attacker 4,000, opponent changed from 2,800 to 1,400. Okay, so they still gain meter, but it's less. Throw escapes. Updated the gauge increase on a successful throw escape. Drive gauge increase change from 1 bar, 10,000 to 5,000. You guys gotta work on these translations. Capcom, you really gotta work on the translations, man. My blood pressure can't handle it. I've been through too much with you guys. Why do you do this? Use the proper word instead of the literal opposite of what you're trying to say. So they nerfed the drive gauge. Instead of getting a bar of drive gauge back on the throw tech, you get 5,000, half a bar. And the super art gauge increase changed from 1,000 to 0. Thank God. They should just get rid of the drive gauge change. This was the worst change in the entire like system mechanics patches that we've had, period. I think most of the system mechanic changes, system level changes have been good in this game. This was a horrible change because it just led to so many more situations where you had things like multiple level 3s per game, multiple level 2s. Level 2 characters were incredibly buffed from this, and it didn't lead to any mind games. No one thought about this shit. No one thought about this shit. What this ended up being was a passive buff to meter build, and it led to things being much more volatile. People do not think about the risk reward on the throw at all when doing these things because you still need the throw to make the entire game work. So this was a horrible change. I still think the drive gauge increase is still bad because, like I said before, the idea of who is defending a throw and who is teching the throw it's a fuzzy idea because they determine who is defending the throw as the person who techs second, but people do delay techs on offense and they end up teching the throw and getting more drive gauge for it. So I just think that is still a fuzzy idea and it doesn't work well because people on offense could use that to build meter as well. So you're not firmly only buffing defense in that situation. I get the logic they're going for. They're buffing anti-throw. They want to buff anti-throw defense without getting rid of throw loops. They're buffing drive reversal by giving you a bar back against throw, which is kind of cool, I guess. And then they're trying to say, oh, you get drive gauge back if you take a throw in defense. It's not. Just get rid of this one. Just get rid of throw loop. They will not do it. Capcom is literally trying to do anything else besides universally getting rid of non-drive rush throw loops. They have all these creative options here to avoid that, which, straight up, a lot of the Japanese fans don't mind as much. It's definitely a culture clash here. They don't mind as much. It's a real thing I've noticed, and we're the minority. Throw loops are the game. I think at all costs, Capcom wants to avoid turtling to be effective. That's their biggest priority, I believe. Okay, so the patch is minor. This to me is like a buff to Dalsum. I think any buff to drive reversal is a buff to Dalsum players. They match on drive reversal for their fucking life. So I guess I kind of appreciate drive reversal on throw, giving you back some drive gauge. It's not a horrible change. I do really appreciate them getting rid of the super art gauge. This was a slop change. This was their biggest mistake so far in the system changes. This will definitely improve the swing heavy nature of a lot of the matches, and also decrease the effectiveness of characters like JP, Blanca, any level 2 character, and it'll stop those weird situations like Kimberly gets level 3 in round 1 and round 3. So I think this is good, for sure. This, I think, is a good nerf, but it shouldn't exist. You should not give drive gauge to someone for taking a throw. They need to leave the throw alone. And other than that, I think they're good changes. I also like the idea they have here of punish counter throw giving less super, which in theory is supposed to be a nerf to parry. If you punish parry with a punish counter throw, they build less super, so there's more situations where you can throw their parry, put them in burnout, and they're less likely to build a level 1, and you can get a guaranteed DI. So this is sort of a nerf to parry, and also better for meter management. Like, you're more incentivized now to punish reversals with grab because of this. So there's going to be situations where, like, it might be smarter. You block a super, and it might actually be smarter to, instead of going for something like a full combo punish, theoretically it might be better if you do something lighter. So in this kind of a situation, for example, it might actually be better to do this as your punish, because then you could theoretically get in for your stun combo, and maybe you have lower resources or something, and this will actually end up being optimal, versus doing a bigger punish up front to get the burnout, and you end up messing up your stun option, because then they might accidentally build the super on that hit. So it's the difference between a guaranteed checkmate potentially with this kind of a punish versus going this kind of a punish, which will build them more super now. So that's the idea they're going for. So you can have more creative ways to manage the meter to put them in worse situations. I think that's kind of cool. It's a little niche, but it's kind of cool. So overall, these are good changes, but it's clear that Capcom is just doing anything they can to avoid actually getting rid of throw loops. But overall, I dig it. A step in the right direction if they keep going at this pace.